All right, welcome to the OG Minifan Show on the Kirk Minahan Network. I'm Steve from Providence with Tim and Canton, R.A. Minahan, and Adam Minahan. TJ is
Daniel Baldwin.
Daniel Baldwin. TJ is has a
Frank
previous
Stallone.
Previous
No, Frank
engagement
Stallone's
with his
an
son.
upper echelon. That'd be the Ryan Minahan. Would be Frank Stallone.
Wow!
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit!
What the hell?
You want to talk about stupid people? And Jesus Christ, my God! No, I said to Kirk, I was like, I can respect what you did there, but to compare yourself to fucking Patrick Swayze, you're not that big of a deal yet.
There you go.
I still can't believe that you think Leo is like top 5 actor. Like that just
So
goes
what's
up my
funny?
ass.
Like, let's go back to the conversations. Like, scroll your pathetic fingers through and say find where I said he's a top 5 actor. Didn't said I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. But is he a top 5 actor? No. But the fact that you don't think he's good is beyond ridiculous.
I don't. I think he's a very limited actor. But I mean, you're entitled to your opinion.
Who's your favorite again?
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he does. He changes his roles a lot.
He does.
A lot lately.
Let's see Leo direct a film. See how we would do.
That's
probably
how
will
we're talking
eventually.
about.
I'm talking about the guy.
We're talking about
The guy can do anything. He can.
Is this
literally do
are
anything.
we on Quantum Week? Did I
No,
join the
but
wrong
the
show?
fact is, I just think Adam's fucked up with his opinions, but that's fine. That's fine. Couple things I want to talk about before we get started. So, TJ and I started off in like a little. It was more of a friendly jostling back and forth, and unfortunately, it has gotten a little bit personal. He accused me of messaging his wife.
That's what I've heard.
And this is how fucking stupid he is. So when you become friends with somebody on Facebook, and if you have the little messenger app, when you become friends, it sends a message to the person saying, say hello to your new friend or something like that. So he took that as if I was trying to get in his old lady's drawers it does it automatically. This is the stupidity that I have to deal with. So I have to defend myself.
Was she good in bed?
I don't know. She's a very nice woman. I've met her once. But this is what I got accused of messaging his wife. That's fine, though. I mean, my opinion is, and I asked R.A. and Tim to join our show a couple months ago because, well, I mean, I need someone that honestly listens to Kirk and has the same amount of passions as if they were opening up nude hustler cards. And like, I need that.
Big fan.
When I ask, can you list some local things in Maine that people would like to see, not just vending machines and subways? Like I wanted so yeah. So and I just him and I having a little bit of a rift. That's one thing, but hopefully I'm sure that'll straighten itself out.
So can I ask you something about that?
Sure, go ahead.
I talked to Gary with 2 R's, Gary Callahan.
Yeah.
And he was curious about you hosting tonight and his TJ next week. So are we like the children of the divorce?
No.
Is this the way this is going to I
I'm having a little
like in your family? Like, are you just reliving it with us?
I don't know how that works.
Here's the problem. I am I think I told you guys. So I have been late 17 times to work this year.
I cannot believe that.
And at my work, I have to be in no later than 2:00 in the morning. I have to be in the work. It is very hard when I get done. I'm very nervous when we're doing this. By the time I get settled down and go to sleep, it's probably around 10:30. I have to be up at 12:30 to get up, shower, and get ready for work. I have been late 17 times. And on Monday, after I went out with DEC, I was late again on Tuesday morning. And I was given my final warning. Now, I've been there for 20 years, and I cannot afford to lose my job. So I have to figure out something that works best for all of us.
Smoke weed.
Smoke weed and get fired. Yes.
That's
a great idea.
No. At least it was working. DEC's podcast is a pretty big deal.
Do they not know what you were doing?
The thing is, I really like doing this. That's the thing. And to be honest, as much it sounds freaking corny, but I mean, I would hate Kirk. He seems to like when we do this. I would hate to feel like one of the people that just quits and walks away. It's hard.
Is this a pitch for
No.
Mike's seat?
No.
Yeah,
no,
do you want to do
no.
mornings?
Is this a
around, like,
roundabout way of
3:30?
pitching
You
that?
know,
Is that
I
why
can't-
Adam's
I can't
really
even-
on
I
to
can't even-
negotiate this behind the
Yeah.
scenes?
I can't even be fucking honest over here with you people because you just start lobbing up.
Why do you like doing it so much if you're fucking nervous too? Why are you nervous?
Yeah, just
I just
for-
like doing it.
It's four morons just shooting the shit.
If a couple people like it, I like the idea of that. Plus it's just fun. But
No,
I get
agree.
nervous. I get
Why?
nervous.
why don't you just pre-record during the day then? You don't have to do it live.
Well, that's impossible. Keep in mind,
It's impossible.
TJ is probably in a random parking lot opening up cards.
TJ works like
You have a job.
12 hours a week.
Tim has a job. I mean, Justin works, so it's kind of like I don't expect everyone to bend around my schedule. So what I did, I reached out to Kevin today, and I said, "Kevin, how you doing, buddy?" He responded right back to me. "Are we doing Shakespeare? What's up?" I was like, "Would you like to maybe guest host for about a month?" I'm still waiting for the response message. That was at noon. That was at fucking noon. That was at fucking noon. So,
Wait a month. All right, we can figure this out. There's no need to go making crazy hiatus decisions. We can figure it out.
So I gotta basically I gotta kind of like play good guy for a little bit until everything gets straightened up.
Then you can be late some more.
Yeah. So
the Minifan show.
So I asked each of you guys to come up with something that you wanted to talk about for the week. The thing that I wanted to talk about was, and hopefully someone else, JDM Josh from Barstool. That happened on was that Tuesday? That was Tuesday. Yesterday.
No, it was
Monday.
Monday, yeah.
Okay,
Monday.
all right.
Yeah, Monday.
Because he wrote his op-ed yesterday.
All right. So I want to ask each of you, what do you?
Library poops.
I'll ask you, Adam, since you really don't say much. What do you think? Why does Kirk get the proverbial racist label thrown on him? Great answer.
Well put.
I'm trying to be like Elon Musk and like take my
One of the
time
great
to
minds.
trying to think about what I'm going to say before I say it. I don't. It's a difficult thing. I think that if you question anything now, and honestly for the last 4 or 5 years, I think that you're automatically labeled that. It's very easy to go. I mean, Mitt Romney and George Bush, all these people were called racists for years, and it was more of a right wing sort of type of thing. But now it's if you just question anybody's journalistic integrity, I think that's sort of how it gets labeled.
Do you think it's more or less just not falling in line with the?
No.
With the is that what it is, or?
I mean, it certainly seems like it. I mean, is there a single thing in anything that Kirk says that's a dog whistle? Like when he goes and says he's placating to his right wing masses, that's basically stating Trump in 2016 dog whistling the alt right. Is there anything that Kirk says that does that at all? It's the same bullshit that these guys continue to spew, and they have nothing else. There's no facts on their side, so they just have to go with just hyperbole.
Sure. All right, what do you think?
So,
Tim, you were going to say something?
well, no, go ahead, because I'm going to bring it back to his shit show from the other day and make the connection. But please, all right, go ahead.
No, I think it's just the Barstool culture. They're young. They're all young. They're all left leaning for the majority of them, except like Dave and maybe KFC. I don't even know, but I know Dave's a right winger. But I just think it's their culture. If you don't agree with what is popular on Twitter, Barstool's going to call you a racist. And I think that's what's happening right now is you find more and more people in Barstool. You can see that, as the curtain's coming down or the curtain's going up, you finally get to see what they are and it's becoming more and more evident as we get closer to November. And obviously what he's saying isn't racist. He's just asking questions, but in the Barstool mentality, you can't do that. Like if you listen to what JDM said, if you're white, you can't comment on it. But unless you agree with him, in which case it is racist if you don't comment on it. But if you don't agree with him and you comment on it and you are white, you are racist. That was his argument. As confusing as it was for me to say that right now, that is exactly how he spelled it out. And
furthermore, if you question whatsoever about the gentleman's background, that went on in Kenosha, then you just come back with, does that deserve 7 shots in the back? So I mean, you're literally trying to go and dig in and find out what potentially the cops may or may not have known under those circumstances. And he got shot 7 times in the back, and I mean, that's all he had. He doesn't. I'm sure he doesn't know the full story, and that's another issue. They just go with what's on the CNN headlines.
No, and then he pitched some kind of fund that after, the success that Ellie had with her bail fund, bailing out all those, like sex offenders and rapists who went back to raping people. I'm sure that's a legit fund that he's hawking, but they're just going to keep doing it, and it's just not going to stop.
Tim, what do you got, bud?
I mean, I think we're all in agreement here. I think this is nothing new for anybody to say that, politics has never been like this. We fought a fucking civil war, people. It's been worse. Okay. This is par for the course. It's just more it's louder now, and it's more easily accessible. Everybody's opinion. It never used to be like that. I would say that's probably the biggest difference. But I think what Adam said is dead on. But I also think it's a small, very vocal subset is getting the loudest and getting the most attention. And I think a lot of people don't agree with them, and you're starting to see that pendulum swing a little, which is, just because I don't agree with you doesn't make me into whatever you label me. But that's, unfortunately, people who are very vocal and shout you down the loudest are also the ones who tend to change the definition of things. And I submit to you what Kirk said the other day that I picked up on, because as you guys know, I like the little nuances. When Kirk was talking about that demon exercise that he does of wiping from back to front like a fucking animal,
what did they do to him?
Who lives in the forest under a rock, that is so disgusting. And what I picked up on is something that Kirk said, which I think is symptomatic of society in general. He called it the traditional way. I had to stop the player. I had to go back and listen to it and say, wait a minute. Who said wiping your ass back to front is traditional? Kirk did. So now that's in our mind. That's traditional. So anybody that wipes front to back is non-traditional. That is a great example of the bigger picture of what we're seeing. You don't agree with me. You want to question something. You have an opinion about something that I don't agree with. I'm going to label you, and then I'm going to shout you down until everybody starts calling you that same thing, and we can't even have a dialogue.
All right, first off, did you see the pro move that Adam did just then? His kids were making a little bit of noise in the background, so he puts it on mute. Unlike you the other day with Monique for Radio Gunk, could hear your kids chasing themselves with chainsaws.
Don't stop. Don't jump. That's my topic I want to talk about. Just stop talking.
All right. Well, I do want to say this. So I just
didn't get shot
before we came on. Before we came on, I took a shower, and I went under my balls, 2 fingers till you get to your asshole. I reach around back, 4 fingers deep in my ass cheeks before you get to your asshole. Kirk is absolutely right. I would never.
Oh my God!
I don't even.
What is the matter with you?
He's right. It's right. It's the right way. It's the only way.
It's not the right way.
You lift up your ball bag. You lift it up, and you have access right there. It's the only way I've ever done
a lot of work.
And your forearms hitting the front of the toilet lid where you just there's pubes and jizz and piss, and you're running through that. So now your forearm, you're gonna have to be like a doctor and have to go all the way down here to wash your hands.
Surgeon gloves for that.
Exactly.
It's three wet wipes from front to back, and then a couple of regular ones to dry it and really, really, really get the maybe that tiny little bit of lather that's left over.
At least a knuckle deep.
The thing about it,
big fan. Not my wife.
Is I honestly thought I was alone with this. Like for years, I was like, I'm the only person on the planet
living with.
Yeah, I don't know how other people can do it. I tried it today. I took a dump, tried it today, got shit on my hands.
Right?
Washed my hands for like 5 minutes.
It's not a club you want to be in. All right,
no,
these are not.
These are barbaric.
These are not normal people. And the fact that he doesn't
barbaric.
Anybody who's not using a wipe for either prep work or in total. I'm sorry, you're a fucking animal.
I love how he shit all over Ryan for doing it. Mind you, he's not talking about me now. He hates me all over the place. So he's talking about Ryan
Adam, don't talk anymore about that because I'm bringing something up for my topic.
Good, I apologize. More more people should be using wet wipes. It's not barbaric
Mhm.
at all. And
Terrible.
the most barbaric thing that was brought up is that Mike admitted to the fact that he used to wipe standing up. I've known two people that have done that,
That's the
and
strangest.
they are by far and away the biggest morons I've ever met in my life. So
I know a
Is it-
guy that is a very strange one. I know a guy whose brother didn't wipe at all. Front to back, back to front, before wipes. Exactly, RA. Never wiped.
Why?
He would just pull his underpants back up and go on about his day. And this is a grown man. And my buddy would tell me they could smell him at the dinner table and refuse to wipe for years and years. Now, as a kid,
does
you know
anybody
what?
talk
Just
to
like in
him?
the shower, he'd just like tidy up. Like,
It's the only time he would. I gotta get. You know, I'm gonna check in with him tomorrow and ask him how his brother's doing.
That would that would be like TJ
Looks like
said.
dead.
TJ says he wipes from
Institutionalized.
back to front or whatever it is, front to back. But like you've seen the size of his ass. He would have to have like 14-foot arms to get around that ass in order to get back there. I think that's full of shit. It's a big man's move, but a little guy like myself and Kirk adapting, that's the way to go. But moving on. Let's see. All right, what is your topic of the day? Because I already have an idea what these two want to talk about. What is it?
Let's go to them. I mean, I'm not that. If you guys are going to talk about Howard Stern, I might as well just mute myself.
I'm not going to get into Howard Stern. I'm going to
to God, that's the last thing I want to talk about.
I'm going to critique these two assholes. I'm not going to talk about Howard Stern.
Oh, perfect. Go
right,
critique, please.
Let's talk about the whack pack from Howard Stern then.
No. I mean, Tim, you and I can.
Oh,
We
my
can certainly
fucking
take this
brains up.
offline. I could do this. I could do that for hours. First off,
Same here.
I enjoyed it. I absolutely did. Steve,
Yeah.
if you ask Monique one more fucking time, is right. If I ask a question, I'm like,
Excuse me. Sorry,
bigger.
Justin.
Could you be a bigger pussy?
Well, I mean,
it makes sense why you can't get laid. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Is it okay if I ask you a question? Is it okay if I ask you a question? Oh, I felt what
Is it
I was going
okay
to
if
say.
I pull your underpants down?
Jesus Christ. Have some
I'm
I
confidence.
didn't wipe.
I'm trying. For one, I'm trying to be respectful. All
She's
right?
not
And then-
respectful. Who cares?
But I don't know the woman, and I wanted her. You can't raise your hand. I just wanted to ask her, and it's hard. I was wrong. Okay, but
have you ever listened to their show?
A couple times, not a lot.
So you don't know. Tim, have you listened to their show?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I think it can be. I think you can go on and on and on, but like they're pretty good. But she's ruthless.
Yes.
Ruthless. You think she's going to give a shit if you just pop in? If you could show your nut bag and she wouldn't care, man. Like
That's why I like her, Adam. She says what's on her mind and she doesn't hold back.
No, and that was my critique on you. Was I could tell that you had listened, and Steve's just falling asleep and like not really. I don't even know why he's there.
So
Well, he does wipe back to front, so you gotta
Yes.
understand there's some
Probably
challenges
late to
there.
work because of it too.
But
Oh, that was cruel.
I'm gonna
But
get
if
fired.
if you're listening to it, like they are ruthless to Stern. When she said, I messaged this to you the other day. I was just like, when she was like, "Oh, I don't hate him. I'm over it," and I thought it was a very, very good podcast. It's compelling. It's the stuff that I absolutely love. RA is like 22, so he doesn't understand this type of stuff. Like loved it. But you could have called her up and be like, of course you hate him. Like you don't like him anymore. All you guys do is talk about the fact that he's closeted, that he wears a wig, his wife
Yes.
looks like a horse, all this type of stuff. You don't like him. It's okay to admit that you don't like him.
You're totally right. You're absolutely right, because I have listened to the podcast. She is the one. I should have brought that up about her not even innuendo. She contends that he is gay and that he's covering it up, and which is amazing considering all the past that he has with his slurs and the games that he would play. And she contends he's been a lover of Ralph's forever. You're absolutely right. Misstep, and you know what? Starstruck.
And
Totally starstruck.
And her co-hosts are even worse than her. They go so deep into it. But like, I mean, that was the only real two critiques I had, was knowing I knew that you had listened to it, Tim, and it would have been at least an interesting conversation to be like, whoa, hold on, you don't like him. But and Steve,
Yeah, like she didn't even call him
Steve
Wiggy
shouldn't
until
have
we
been there.
said something.
My God.
Oh, what the fuck?
What? You shouldn't have been.
Well,
You're not
it
even
was
a Howard Stern fan.
Should have been working.
Well, it's just like I have you on here, and you just started listening to your brother's show a couple of weeks ago, but I asked you to come on. I mean,
I don't really.
I'm doing the best that I can. I mean,
RA, I gotta say, this is what I envision it's like when Kirk's around Ryan and Adam, and they're both fighting with each other, and Kirk is taking one side. These two,
we don't get into fights.
I'm not even paying attention to this conversation. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I got Wikipedia up in the background. I'm zoned out. I could not care less
when I say, do you mind if I ask you a question? It's kind of breaking up all the background conversation, and then that's just how I do it.
I will say, you got to admit though, she did like Steve the best.
Oh, she did. DMs were loaded up, and that's no bullshit.
She did.
Tim, what did you want to talk about, buddy?
There's a clip I'd like to play. Adam, I'm gonna blindside you right here. Justin, would you mind playing that clip?
When did you? What were we doing in Boston? We're it's day 2 of our shit talk. In Boston, what led to your that time where you fucking almost shit your pants and we were in the garden? Were we at the garden for something?
No. We went to as a family with Adam. We went to Pizzeria Regina.
Oh, the original one.
The original.
Oh, okay. You had pizza. How old were you? Like Harry's age?
I picked up on this, by the way.
No,
all right, you did. All right, so Justin, that's cool. Thank you very much. So Adam, you pick up on what I picked up on there?
We went out as a family with Adam.
Yes. What the fuck is that?
They don't like me. It's all right. Like, I mean, I'm over it. It's fine. They don't like me. I don't like them. It's perfectly acceptable.
But so you and I have DM'd with both middle children. I know what it's like. We're the black sheep, right? I heard you said the other day. Same with me. There was a time I went into my basement at my mother's house, and I locked down. This guy's working on the water heater. I go, "Who are you?" He's like, "Who are you?" I said, "I live here." He goes, "Oh, you're the one that's never here." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, that's me." So I know what you're talking about, but I thought that was very interesting that he said a family time with Adam. So was this like, were you never ever?
No, he was young. I was there.
Crew?
Like, that's a subconscious working, just saying I hate Adam, and this is a way to do it. I'm sure, which is great. I don't hate them. I love them both dearly. They know that. But yeah, I picked up on that. I was like, God, that's an interesting way to put that. But let's just real quick. I don't want to bore RA. I mean, he just look at him.
We're going back to Hester.
It's all right. He's reading Wikipedia about some fucking.
I'm looking up the fatal
Plymouth Rock of Romania.
So
communism.
He ruined. He didn't tell the best part of the story. He worked around the best part of the story. We went to Pizzeria Regina. We're
in the North
heading
End.
Out in the North End. Heading out. Filippo's. I don't know if you remember that restaurant.
Right on the corner.
Right on the corner.
Up top, right?
Yep.
So we are at that light going over the bridge where the famous chase scene from whatchamacallit, the Ben Affleck movie. The town. So we're at that light. Ryan,
Charlestown Bridge.
Yep, who's at the front? He was in the front seat for some reason. Whatever. Literally starts screaming at the top of his lungs, "I'm gonna shit my pants! I'm gonna shit my pants! I'm gonna shit my pants!" And at 9 years old, sprinted out, and that's a main street.
Yes, that is a very busy.
And full sprint, booked it, grabbing his ass, making it to the Filippo's, and I think he made it to the toilet.
At 9?
Yeah, at 9. And we were just
That's impressive.
We were just like starstruck, for lack of a better way. I'm like, holy shit, that just happened. And I mean, obviously my dad had to pull over, but if you could have just seen a 9-year-old kid crying, basically running at full sprint, grabbing his ass, knowing he was going to shit himself. It was that's been his life ever.
Yeah, that sucks. I know people with IBS. That is awful.
The amount of times that poor bastard has shit on the side of a road or whatever. I mean, I do. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for his family.
There was also a comment that got by about the elitist nature of the young Minifans. Kirk, did he say he was having a problem with his neck or something? So your dad let him sit in the front with the heated seats.
Yeah, I think that was one of the first Mercedes at that point. I don't know.
Steve and I don't know about you, RA, but I can tell you, Steve and I did not grow up with heated seats unless they were sitting in the sun for 8 hours on a 100-degree day, and you couldn't peel your skin off the fucking pleather. That caught me so off guard, and it was so awesome. That was such a Winchester thing to say.
Yeah, it
Dad
sucks
let
to
me
be-
sit in front with the heated seat because my
it
neck
sucks-
hurt.
It sucks to be
The
poor.
massaging
I
seat.
don't know what you want me to say. It sucks to be poor. I'm
It's
sorry for
awesome. It's
you.
awesome.
You guys are both in unfinished shit, for Christ's sake.
I
And
know,
I'm
listen,
Hey,
there's no nobility in not
Take it
having
easy.
money. Trust me, it's jealousy. Trust me.
yeah.
Ari, your basement honestly does look like a crack house. It does. It's not to be rude or anything like that, but
No, it's
I'm
fine.
just waiting for Pookie to come offer me a dime bag from.
Tim's looks like Red's basement, for crying out loud. You have a teddy bear over there too?
Dungeon.
I got relegated to
Of
this.
red that were just like him looked like a serial killer. Like he looked like he's got like a
He looked
freezer
like
full of body parts. He just looked.
You look like the
pissed.
devil.
Yeah, it was not a flat. Like I at least had the light on me. Like he had the light like on top of me. It was just
With the teddy bear in the back.
the rundown.
So, Ari, what did you? Now that we're going around your last, what do you want? What do you got?
Talk about the Senate election. I don't know if you guys are pulling for it. I feel like Steve and I are on the same page.
Oh yeah, I'm all wheels. Wheels up.
I don't know where Adam and Tim stand on this very
I'm
important. Senate
fucking
election.
Mike's media relations
Are you?
director. Yeah,
That
Oh, that's too
fucking
bad.
fat loser.
I'm already lining up an interview for him.
What are the guy who called it today called him Fat Boy? The father, like Father Pedro, or whatever. Is like, yeah, the fat boy took green beans.
Now this is it. This stuff does interest me in the fact that, even though listen, it's just for fun. You will actually see a fucking divide amongst people. in
Oh, yeah.
this,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they will push
Yeah.
hard. Now they will.
Yeah.
This would be perfect in the fact that Mike says that he's doing his best not to take things personally, but it is going to
He
be
does.
fucking wild out there, and I'm kind of curious to see how he reacts down the road because this isn't going to go away. And I know Adam isn't a big fan of the mincels, but they are fucking ruthless, and I am just waiting to see some of the bullshit that comes out. As far as like they'll do the banners and the campaign sides and shit like that, and I think it's going to affect him whether you believe it or not. But I think he takes things to another level where this stuff's just fun, but he'll think that's what people actually think of him.
Unfortunately, which is too bad because he's done pretty well since the show's been back. Like I think he's had a good
Same.
week and a half, and now he's just gonna crumble because Minifans are mean to him.
No,
Well,
Adam does not like him
unfortunate.
whatsoever. So I'd like to hear this commentary.
Oh, Mike?
Yeah, you do. Don't even pretend like you do. So
Are you familiar with the write-in race? That's the write-in campaign that's now turned into apparently a write-in race
I missed
for two guys.
I'm still catching up on the last 30 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
But no, I got that part of it. I like Mike fine. I laughed once or twice today at stuff that he said that was positive. Like I think that's stepping in the right direction. No, I think it's fine. But I think Steve, I think you're right. Like he's going to be looking all day at.
You're an asshole.
Have you ever seen him do it?
Unfortunately.
The first time I went on Mike and the Minifans, it was like Justin threw me in. And it was just this. I wanted to be like, "Hi, I'm here."
That was the first time I saw it. It was at the it wasn't at the tennis match. I forget where it was. And that's when I realized I'm like, oh shit, like he's actually blind. Like
Legit.
This is not a gag. That is insane. But he'll go and he'll be scrolling through and he will be affected by it. But I don't think it affects his performance on the show. I just don't. I think that he's just gonna be kind of a depressed, lovable loser the rest of his life. But that's fine.
I'm hoping that he realizes, like Steve, you just said, this is supposed to be all for fun. And there are absolutely going to be people who are going to make it personal. You can't even pay attention to those people. You can't. We've all got our faults. It's going to happen. I can only say from the conversation I had with him on Monday, he was, let's just say he is almost willing to do anything for the show. He was unbelievably funny. We were trying to come up with this thing for Dr. Lar, and the stuff he was feeding me, I was like, Mike, we should have been recording this. I can't believe what we're even talking about. I'm dropping my kid off for work, and he's telling me about the way he wants to set up this call, and I'm going to be Alba, and the stuff he's saying. So the funny thing is, he's got a great comedic. He absolutely has a very comedic mind, a great comedic mind, and I don't know why he lets it bother him, because he's fucking funny. Just
Yeah.
embrace it.
Yeah, well, you bring up Alba. I spent about 45 minutes the other day looking up Albanian families and blind people, and
Why?
because how the father, which I'm a big fan of the father-in-law now, how he was making fun of him.
It rubs his belly.
Oh yeah,
That's so
Mr. Anal Check.
so
Like he's a Buddha.
So I looked up
It's
like
his good luck charm.
exercise.
I found myself on the
Exercise.
there's like an Albanian Reddit page.
Oh
And
God.
like they post like stories about like how strict they are as parents, and like how in Albania they look upon children with deformities, and like they use them as firewood, and like, I think that young Michael is fucked because
Where are you reading that?
I did a Google search for Albanian people. And
you just said that.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Literally
And,
just said
and
it.
you
So I'm
just
wondering where specifically do you hear that they use disabled as firewood?
No, well, I made that.
That's
That's a known fact, RA. It's world renowned.
Why
Albanians.
wouldn't you be looking up like their like maybe hatred towards dumb Americans or something like that? Like why specifically just blind? That has to be a hard thing.
Well, I looked up crippled. It was the exact word that I looked. It's not good. The other thing that I was reading, and they all said there was a uniformity to this, that someone was saying, someone brought up the question as far as my parents seem to be spending a lot more time over the house, and a lot of people's response were, get used to it because it's going to start happening a lot more frequently after you get married, and that's something that I'm looking forward to. I would love for them to show up all the time, unannounced visits, just spend a lot of time at his house. I think that's something that he's not expecting. I don't know if he's done his homework as far as this goes, as far as how, like, I was married to a woman whose parents were from Italy, and they were over not just every weekend, like every other day they would come over.
Yeah, but don't you think that's very
immigrant
typical of people that are people of first generation immigrants? It's very typical. Any culture,
Well, I think it gets a little old after a while, and I think
maybe they just like him. I mean, it could be that.
Do you really think that? Do you think that they're not scared for their daughter, or like
what?
I don't know, because that's a hike. Not that we know, where they live, but that's
not necessarily.
Not that we figure that out, but I mean, listen, it's a hike. All right, we'll just leave it at that.
Adam, you would have loved to have been in that fucking thread that night. You would have fucking loved it. We know everything.
So
we know way too much.
I think this campaign could be incredibly funny. I mean, this is what 8 weeks of content coming up. I mean, Kirk already mentioned the debate. Was someone right? Is Mike a write-in for Senate and Ted is actually a write-in for the presidential campaign, but they're campaigning against each other?
Yeah, no, I think that. Well, Mike can't be on he's only 29. He can't be on Ted's 30, so he can be on the ticket. He can be on the Senate ticket, not the presidential ticket.
Yeah, but I think
part of the reason why I'm part of the Wheel Deal movement is because he can actually be on that ballot.
Smart.
Well, you guys are going to be exposed for what you are. That's all I can say. Just be prepared for what's coming.
I think they're going to be looking at a more big picture too. I think Kirk had the right idea initially. Obviously, we have to wait a little bit, but Blind Mike and Big Cat, that could get some steam for a nice little presidential bid.
It could.
Not in 4 years from now, but maybe 8. I think Big Cat will probably still have some relevance at that point. Come on.
Yeah. Blind Mike is our Admiral Stockdale. I mean, today he was so funny when he was just being himself, and he had no idea what the issues were. He had no idea who people were. He was getting ages wrong. He's getting everything wrong, which was freaking hilarious because he wasn't making pretend. And a guy like that could actually gain a little bit of traction in
Is there any difference in that? And do you think Marky knows any of the stuff?
No. God, no.
They're all idiots, so why not? Have fun.
At least Mike is honest, though. He's honest.
Yeah. The best part about
it can be very funny.
Ted messaged me. He's like, I only have a couple people that are backing me. You would be a huge push.
Oh my
And I
God.
was like, you really have no idea. Like, nobody likes me. Like, you're gonna get nothing from me whatsoever.
And as we know, none
I
of this is
wonder why
real. That's the best part.
I know. I wonder why no one likes you. I wonder why. Thumbs down, thumbs down, thumbs down, thumbs down.
Well, all right. So we're at a 30-minute mark. Before we get out of here, because we do keep it short over here, Adam. Is there anything that you guys wanted to address before we get out of here? Tim, anything?
Just a quick update on the Minif Family Wiffle Ball Tournament. We are still on for September 27th. I will be sending out an update by the end of the week, Steve, as you know.
Yeah.
The location, not many people know where it is. Everything is still a go as of right now, but I figured we might as well get it publicized. It's on a Sunday. It's a Minif Family event, and more to follow, but it looks like it's going to happen as of right now.
All right. All right.
I will not be at that, but
Doing a
You'll
history,
be-
that's all I got.
history show this week?
Just history buffs are on tomorrow night talking communism, my
Ooh,
favorite subjects.
All right.
really?
Yep, and how Ned wants to talk about, for whatever reason, why communist art like impacted his life or something like that. So I don't know. Stay tuned.
Adam?
Must see TV.
I just
Yeah,
think
8 o'clock.
I just think Josh is a racist piece of shit, and just leave it at that.
Fair enough. And with that, Justin,
Well,
what,
Steve, you
yeah.
see the chat?
I can't see what that says.
Do you see what we just got posted?
I can't.
Shout out the Justin Show, Saturday at 8.
There you go. The Justin Show said, is that after Mike and the Minifans? That's going to be after Mike and the Minifans, right? Wow.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Huge push.
Can you keep our conversations private, Justin, please, on that show?
Once we log off, I got to go show you guys what I had to take out of the background before I went live.
All right, Justin, with that, we're out of here. Thank you very much, guys. Mike, Steve, Kirk, thank you very much.